Hello Thomas, thanks for your time. It's already being called the Thomas Frank Derby. An extra incentive this to try and put that home record right?
Yeah, I think of course it's a little bit more special for me because I faced Brentford where I've been for 9 years. That's almost a quarter of my life. I had a fantastic time there and enjoyed every second of it. There's a lot of people I will see on Saturday I haven't seen for a long time. I used to see them every day more or less. So that will be special. Of course as well, it would be not true not to say that, and it is very true. But it's today been a preparation against the team. Players I know very well, of course. There's small tweaks to what you could say I used to do, but a lot of the identity is the same in many ways, which make it difficult in many ways. But then when the whistle go, it's all about getting 3 points and win.
We always ask players, don't we, whether they'll celebrate if they score against their old team. Will you celebrate if you score against your old team?
Yeah, I will, because that I think everyone the respect I got for Brentford, the fans, everyone, before kickoff, after kickoff, or after the final whistle, in the 90 minutes plus, it's all about one thing: do what we can to win the game.
They are struggling to pick up points away from home. You're struggling, as we know, to pick up points at home. Something's got to give, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It will be a nice timing for us to get the 3 points on Saturday. There's only one way to do that is put a good performance in there, work on the things we constantly working on, phase 2, phase 3, constantly make it sharper, quicker, not direct, but more penetration when we need to have that. Play with intensity, come out brave. We're looking forward to the game.
The fight you showed, the persistence you showed in midweek has obviously given everybody a boost, including the fans. Have you had your defenders out there on the training ground practicing their overhead kicks?
Maybe Kuti and Mickey van der Veen should play strikers. Now we discussed a little bit if it was Richie or Kuti's overhead kick that was the best. I think they are disagreeing. They agree to disagree, let me put it that way.
Thanks very much.
Charlie.
Hi Thomas, lovely to speak with you today. Just in terms of the team, any issues following the Newcastle game, any injuries?
No, everyone's from the game should be ready.
I've interviewed Kevin Danso today, and we spoke a lot about the halftime huddle that the players did against Fulham and have been doing for a while now. And he said it's a way of the players trying to encourage each other before they come off the pitch. I just wondered, what do you make of that halftime huddle that the players do, and how happy are you to leave the players to their own devices when it comes to how they can encourage and really boost each other up?
I think it's on the pitch. The more they can encourage each other, I think the more there's the positive body language, the more they can, all the small setbacks, all the good positive actions. I think that just, build to that togetherness and that performance. So I think it's good. They're out there on the pitch. They're out in the arena. None of us is out there. I know I stand close to it, but I'm not in there. They need to sort it out, and they can only do that together.
And in terms of Keith Andrews, obviously taking over after you left Brentford, when I spoke to a lot of the Brentford players at the start of the season, they said that it didn't really feel like a massive change because, of course, he'd been at the club. When did you first know that he would make a good manager?
I think first and foremost, I think it's big credit to Brentford to two things: be brave enough to promote within, but also have built something over time. So I've been there 9 years, and those 9 years, 7 years almost as a head coach, and it's definitely not about me. It's about what we together built there. That consistency, stability, and high performance level at the level. So that culture, knowing who we are, what we want to be, that was easier to how can you say, continue with appointing Keith, and I think he's done a remarkable job. It is never easy to step up to your first head coach role. The club lost crucial players in the summer, and the way they just continued, you can see they got what I will call the Brentford identity, and he knows that with culture and style of play, and kept it, but also tweaked it with his idea, because we're all different. So big praise, and what I saw in Keith, very good man, good values, good coach, had leadership potential. Yeah, so very impressive.
Hi Thomas, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. You?
Surviving. In terms of Brentford, you would know, you came through from Dean Smith, so you stepped up there like Keith did when you came here. Who had the more difficult job then at the beginning of the season? Keith stepping up for his first ever managerial role, but at a club he knew, or you coming here to a club you didn't know?
That's a good question. No, that's a very good question. I don't know which was I think it's how can you say, difficult challenge. Experience, whatever you call it. Two different levels. He's come within the club, but he's standing out there a little bit more on his own, in front of everyone, facing players, staff, owners, press, everything. And in the end of the day, it's his decision, and dealing with the ups and downs. And it was not an easy summer looking from the outside, with players leaving the club and stuff like that. And I didn't have just a perfect start to the first 3 or 4 games, so still keep his calm. So here it's different, of course, just stepping into a new club. Like again, need to know how the players are, the club, leadership, everything. Both good challenges.
Difficult for both of you. How will you feel on Saturday when you come up against players that you bought for Brentford, you trusted to go out and perform for you for Brentford? I'm thinking of Damsgaard, Collins, Keane, Lewis, Potter, lots of players. I mean, there have been new ones since you left, but a lot of the team will still be the team you bought for Brentford.
More or less everyone, yeah.
And then having now to go and beat them. You put your life in their hands every day for a few years now.
Yeah, but that's the nature of football. As I said, before the game and after the game, maybe not the 10 seconds after the game, but after, I'm looking forward to see good people. I really enjoyed to work with players, staff, everyone. But during the game, it's just about competing and winning a match. It's the same if I'm playing a paddle game or something against good colleagues. When we're playing. It's not for fun. It's competitive, and after we can be happy again.
Finally, somebody you might want to play paddle with afterwards. A familiar face returning on Saturday, Heung-min Son, real legend to this football club, as you know. First of all, fans are going to love seeing him, and I guess that he might be able to give you some good luck.
That would be nice. No doubt about that. I'm so pleased for Sonny that he come back and then really hopefully get the well-deserved celebration, and for everything he done for this club. I think it was a fantastic sending off in South Korea. But on Tuesday, I really hoped he got that. Yeah, they really applaud him.
Hi Thomas. On Sonny, he was a character who was really good at bringing people together at this club. It's obviously been difficult atmosphere-wise at home this season, and we saw that in the Fulham game. Do you think you've missed Sonny as a kind of unifying figure on the pitch and in the dressing room this season?
Yeah. I don't know. I would say he's not here, so others need to step up. It's like when you miss a player for whatever reason, because leadership qualities are part of Sonny, bringing people together, also part of Sonny, whatever. The level they had, others will step up, others will shine a little bit more, because some of the players that were there before took the shine, if that makes sense. But of course, you can always use good people as Sonny.
And Sonny's position was normally from the left. In that left wing role, you've played a number of different players, but it was Brennan against Newcastle. Do you feel you know who your preferred candidate is in that position? Does it depend on the opposition? How do you see that part of the team?
I think it's fair to say that there is competition for that left side role. I think everyone can see that there's two things in it. We played a fair amount of games, and we play every third, fourth day, so there need to be rotation as well. But also fair to say there's not been one player that put his foot down. Boom, I'm playing that position.
And apologies if you've been asked this recently, but is there any fresh update on Dom Solanke or on Kulusevski in terms of when they're going to be fit?
No, I said it. Yeah, I'm happy. I think 10 days ago I got a question that when they are ready to really be close to be involved in the squad, then I will give more information. Yeah.
I'll finish with George at the back, please.
Hi Thomas. Sticking with the left side, actually, you've obviously tried a lot of players there, but Matty Tell hasn't sort of really had a run on the left. But it feels like in recent games, sort of Man United, and obviously he took the corner on Tuesday night. He's kind of making contributions in that kind of limited time. When is he going to kind of get the opportunity, I guess, that he's pushing for?
That's a good question. When I take the decision, now big, as we spoke about Matty before, it's been a toughish season for him. Of course, the first thing was we can't run away from that he was not involved in the Champions League squad. But the way he carries himself, the way he trains, his mindset is very good, and that's also why I've used him in games. And he also started mainly as a 9 in the games he played this season. I'm very aware that he also can play off the left, so it's a little bit what kind of type and who you go with, and how many players can you go with on the side and stuff like that. So the only thing that any player can do is to keep training well, keep doing everything they can to catch my eye, make it very difficult for me when I take my decisions.
And someone else that's played on the left as well this season, Xavi, but prefers being the number 10. How's he kind of reacted to this? These 4 games. Before it felt like he was kind of slowly adapting. He had a very good performance against Copenhagen, good against Man United. I imagine he's not been happy to be on the bench for these 4 games. Is he sort of doing enough in training that to force his way into your team?
Xavi's trained fantastic. The last 5-6 times we actually really could train. Very good attitude on the training pitch. I like that a lot. And we played, different games with different lineups. I think that Xavi was towards something better and better. And as long, just the same like Matty, train well, good attitude, then then we're getting closer and closer. And I think it's also fair to say that he's coming on in all 4 games we played.
Is there sort of kind of Fulham at home, and I guess Brentford at home feels like the ideal opportunity for him? Is there a reason why he didn't start against Fulham?
No, it's just different scenarios. We played with 2 strikers against PSG. Both of them scored. I think it's fair to say that. And I will not say that we struggled to score because we scored 23 goals. I think that's quite a fairly high amount. So that's quite good. But we also played with the 2 just a little bit different role against Man United. So it's just different personnel and who's been a little bit in form and stuff like that. So yeah. Hey.
Would you like your team to shoot more?
Yeah, I think sounds like a good idea. I think if you don't shoot, it's difficult to score goals, definitely, if you take that approach. I'm also of the belief that I think you should play the chance big. But of course, if you are in balance outside the box, I think you should shoot, yeah.
There's this stat that in the last
the team having a shot on target in the first half. And I've noticed watching Tottenham, I don't watch them as much as you see, might tell them wrong. I don't see them shooting outside the box very much. They run across the box and lay it off. And, whereas, sometimes you just have a go and you can get lucky. Is it? In this kind of period, would it be better to take a bit more of a chance, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's always a combination of different factors that is affecting each other. I definitely think when the ball drops on the edge of the box, you should shoot, and we're ending in areas around the box, you should shoot. And we, as I said a few times, I think we're working very hard on our phase 2 and our phase 3, how we get into the right positions and how we get enough play and run movement on the side to produce the breakthroughs and penetrations. And the better we do that, the more we'll do that, the more we'll end in those situations, the more we'll get good opportunities to shoot.
Have you encouraged the players to shoot more at all?
No, I haven't. I think it's I encourage them to do everything we can to create more chances and score some goals. You can encourage them to shoot, but I'm pretty sure players also feel naturally if we're in a good position to shoot. Hi, Tom.
Day to day, what are the biggest differences between managing Tottenham and managing Brentford?
I think the biggest difference, obviously now is the amount of games. I think that's the biggest thing, the short turnaround. Now, of course, as I said, I experienced during COVID, we had 21 games in a row. There was Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, and so on. But of course, we had two spells of 2-2-2 with a lot of traveling. That's heavy, and also the ability to think and how can you say, nail the messages, nail the team, nail all those bits. While you try to create a team that should be more and more in sync, where you maybe is not that easy, and also need to rotate a bit, and you need to do those things. That's the challenge. And then I think that's the biggest thing.
I was going to say, there have been a lot of changes in terms of the line-up and the formation in the first 3 months, and I guess you're still finding the right formulas, but how do you balance that with trying to find kind of fluency and combinations as well?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that I don't even know how many games we played, around 20 I think in total or something like that. I think we played 2 with a back 3, which was 2 different games, and then we played 2 where you can say we played with 2 strikers, and then the 2, and one of them was PSG away, which is still like a special mission kind of thing. And the rest has been a variation of 4-2-3-1 with either a wing or midfield on the side, or so the same bit. I think that's one bit. And then, as I said, it's also finding that balance of consistency with 6, 7, 8 players that can find a more relationship, and also the relationship between the offensive players. While you still need to do some kind of rotation, and that just make it a bigger challenge, and there's no excuse, it's just the way it is.
Just in terms of the sort of pressure and expectation, I think it's said a lot that Brentford could lose 3 or 4 games and no one would notice. Whereas here, people notice. Is that something that surprised you? Have you felt that sort of extra weight in your first few months?
Yeah, definitely felt that. It hasn't surprised me, because I knew that was the difference when you walked into it, but you don't, like anything else, you don't know it before you stand in it, like really know it. So now I know it, so okay, it's like this, and then we deal with that. You're welcome. Tom.
Thomas, your tricky start at Brentford seems a long time ago now, given how well it went in the end. How did that help you? What did that teach you going into this beginning at Spurs and so far, which has been mixed?
I think actually that was my second tough start. I think I said I also had it in my first head coach job, senior job in Brentford. I think both experiences showed me the more you can stick to your principles, processes, structure, to what you believe in, constantly, how can you say, try to add the layers you want to add to the squad in terms of culture, behavior, the way you want to play, finding the right formula, all that. You just need to keep doing that. And then sometimes in Brentford, for example, we played 4-3-3, I think, 10 games, and then the 11th game, boom, changed it 3-4-3, because that was the right thing with the players. And then we had a fantastic front three in Watkins, Neil Mowbray, and Said Rama that just clicked. So it was also in that spell, I clearly remember suddenly Watkins was out, Said was injured, another one. So the front three, that was a key offensive players, were out. So that's also something that if you don't have that, it's just make it more of a challenge. A little bit the same like we have now. That some of the key offensive players are out. Okay, no problem. It is what it is. It's my job to how can you say, find good solutions. And in that said, as I said, we still managed to score 23 goals, which is quite remarkable.
This was a home game against a team that a lot of fans will be hoping and expecting, to be honest.
I'm also hoping and expecting us to win. I know we will not be that easy, straightforward, but we will go out with belief and bravery and intensity and do everything we can to win. But I understand the question.
Well, my question was going to be, Fulham last week, it was almost over before it began after that difficult start, and the anxiety in the crowd and the team seemed to be fairly obvious. How do you keep them calm going into this fixture, particularly if they concede an early goal like last week? How do you make sure they stay focused?
I think I still think it was a freak 6 minutes, but that of course happens when things are not perfect. I think it's about talking about it. You can't run away from it. They'll be can't do that. So of course, speak about no matter what happened, stick to the plan. No matter what happened, be calm. No matter what happened, keep doing what we should do. And then encourage each other. And then, like with everything, it's one step at a time. It's 1 minute at a time. Keep doing the right thing. Keep working your way into the game. And then we know every game you will have a bit of momentum. And then it's about, how can you say, take that momentum when you have it.
It's Igor, Thiago, and Charleston. It's both vying or hoping to be in the mix with Brazil. Two strikers well. Obviously, you didn't get to use Igor as much as he would like last season because of an injury. But can you just talk a little bit about how they are similar or how they differ?
I think two good players. For Richie, he's in form right now with goals, and I also think he, touch wood, never been at this fit the last 3 years. I think that's also another big credit to the medical and performance department and what we do. I think he's very good in the box. I think he when he has his highest level and confidence, I think his link-up play and hold-up play is very good. And I think he's difficult to play against in general. Thiago, both of them are good pressing players. Thiago, both of them actually very good in the air in terms of heading abilities. Thiago got a bit more physicality. His hold-up play is good, but maybe not as good as Richie right now. He's a little bit younger, but two players with strong mentality.
Just last, you mentioned earlier about the left wing position and how no one right now is completely sort of nailing down that position. January's just around the corner. Is there any chance that particular position could be something?
I think we look at not every position, but we're prepared in every position to see if there is something we can do to improve the squad. I think we always will look into that. Right now, and just focus on do everything we can to find the one that can take the next step. Plus, we always need more than one that do it to help the team, because there's starters and there's finishers. Welcome.
Thomas, the other day you were talking about at Brentford and your previous clubs, you try to build consistency with investedness and culture. The other night against Spurs, I think, against Newcastle, I think Spurs showed a bit of the competitiveness side of it, but the other two, maybe not so much. Is that something you're still working
What was it? Culture and
consistency.
Yeah, definitely. I think again, as I said, I think there is a good foundation. It's not like it's ground zero. I think there's a very good foundation on the culture. I think the players are very good people. They want the best. They care about each other. And how can we build that better and better to have that? We say winning mentality. What is winning mentality? But also that it's every game. It's every minute of every game. It's 3 times a week where you need to be very competitive. That kind of culture, dealing with setbacks, dealing with where we want to build something, and then the consistency. That's the next bit we try to build in performances, of course, but there's also players that consistently can play with the physical load, the mental load, 3 days a week, and performing, and that's the next challenge.
And just on Xavi, obviously at Brentford you got Damsgaard, who was a really important part of your team's Playmaker. Do you see Xavi as somebody who could fill that same role at Spurs, really make a difference in creating chances?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the reasons why we got him here. I think he got a very big potential. Yeah, to be that a playmaker. How can you say? Creator, but also finisher. I think he got a very good finish and very good at scoring goals and arriving in the right areas. And I'm a big believer that he'll be very good for us. But it is like with anything we like it to be boom like this to make it work. And sometimes we have a team, or you come into a club where everything is just smooth, everything working, no problem, boom, you step in, even that, you can see you compared with Wirtz at Liverpool, also coming into a champions. And it's not that easy all the time. Other times it take a little bit longer. But as long as the player train well, keep the right attitude, keep doing the right thing, and then step by step, we will see him flourish. I'm not in doubt of that. Just because we're always so good to judge them now, but it's probably after a year or two. Oh, how good is he now? Everyone's talking about Damsgaard. It took 2 seasons before he really flourished in the third one.
Is it a little bit as well about your relationship with him, as well as his relationship with the rest of the team? How you communicate what you want from him?
Yeah, I think it's like, I'm a big believer in terms of trying to create a professional relationship with the players. That's how I work. So it's with the same with Xavi, it's with Matty, with Brandon, with it's all the players. How do we get it working, and also with which players, where do we find the right position for them? So that's a constant development.
Is it fair when people say you don't know your best team then?
I think it's fair. I think it's fair. I think it's. I think I got an idea of quite a few positions, but I can say. I also think there's competitions, by the way. So it's not that easy all the time to say, okay, it's just those 11, because never those 11. We need more than 11 players. But normally, you see the most teams when they are finding the strongest team. Okay, the strongest team, that would be those 9 players all the time, and then maybe change 2, maybe sometimes it's 10.
Because when you came in, it seemed like you settled on something, and then it's more recently that it's been trying different things.
Yeah, it's a combination also the amount of games and that rotation. So it's not. I think it will be. Definitely until, I don't know how long, whatever. For hopefully the rest of the season we're doing very well in the Champions League as well. But we play that many games, there will be rotations. But they hope to be closer and closer. You can see, okay, that is closer to the 9-10 players. That's what we go with.
Are you troubled by 1 winning 8?
I prefer the other way around. 7 out of 8, let me put it that way.
And we talk a lot about performances.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, you can't. That's a stats I like to have to reverse and do the other way around. So there's nothing I want more than have 7 out of 8 wins.
Can I just ask a small one on a way of housekeeping? When do you expect to lose Sa?
Who, Sa? I don't have the dates on top of mind, but isn't it something that 15th, I think, something like that. Yeah, I'll definitely keep him as long as possible. I'll put it that way. Yeah. Please ask me that question when we are 2 games further down the line. But I will do everything I can to keep him as long as possible.
We'll finish with Ryan, please.
Hi, Thomas.
Hey.
Has there been any discussion amongst you or the squad about how Newcastle needs to maybe represent a turning point in your season? Because it was a good point, obviously, fighting back from behind twice, but if you lose on Saturday, obviously that hard work kind of goes out the window.
Yeah. I think it's sometimes you hit the momentum. You got a good point, win on Saturday, boom. Then we carry on. That's definitely the aim. That's what we go for. That's the big belief that we can and we will do that. So I'm not. I'm as you said. I'm more looking into. Okay, that was not only a very good point with all the circumstances, but I felt that in the last 60, I think there was a lot to build on. And I felt that the first 30, we put like, okay, a little bit more, okay, we stay in this no matter what happens. And I think also it's fair to say where someone told me that last couple of times we've been up there, we've been down at halftime. So just that is a small win. And that's something we built on.
And you stayed at Brentford for 9 years. That's a long way away, but could you see yourself hopefully staying at Spurs for that long? Is that realistic?
I think everything is possible. I think you ask me now, 9 years is a long time. But I said from the beginning, every action, everything I do is with 2 pathways. One, need to do everything we can to win tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and the day after that. But everything is taken with the long-term vision. Because if you don't build anything sustainable long-term, I don't believe in you can be a big club or top club. If it's only we survived, one more game, we survived, no. And then there is pragmatic choices along the way, because there is players in form, out of form, injuries, everything that. But bit by bit, we will get closer and closer to a well-oiled engine, impossible to stop.
Okay,
Welcome.
thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you guys.